What is the best way to live your life? Now, there is no absolute answer to this question. Nobody can tell you the best way to live your life but yourself. What I can give you is a perspective. Imagine if you were told right now you had only a year to live, 12 months from this point on. That is all you have. Your initial reactions to this would be shock, disbelief, doubt, depression, and then preparation. Or in other words, you'll go through the 5 stages of grief. After having accepted the fact that you've only 12 months to live, your personality will go through a systematic, miraculous form of evolution almost instantaneously. And this evolution is what changes the entire diagram of your existence. In a way, for the first time, you will stop being a part of the society and consciously take your first step to individuality, which is the separation of your existence from the rest of the world, not for the need to be different or recognized, but because that is its function. And it happens because for the first time, you have no other options but to take your life seriously. So, what is that evolution? Well, after having accepted your mortality, your mind will go through the following changes automatically. The first thing that happens is all your excuses disappear, regardless of the scheme of actions you're going to pursue in the future. All the excuses in your life until now that you've struggled with, never truly cared to solve, and unconsciously made a part of your personality get surgically removed from your brain as if they never existed. For the first time in your life, you're truly blessed with a focus shared by the greatest minds, and you haven't even chosen the goal yet. Second, you are blank. All your past consisting of stupid mistakes, habits, memories, and regrets gets deleted. You now look forward to creating great memories with people who truly matter in your life. All your crushes, grudges, memories, and tears and lies and pain, none of that shit matters anymore. You forget and move on within a second. Third, you discover priorities. Your mind automatically builds a list of people, actions, activities, practices, customs, and habits you need to dispose of. Fourth, you're not looking forward to gallivanting with your friends anymore or performing your daily rituals, which is basically creating replicas of yesterday. If you think about it, each day in your life is exactly the same. But now, for the first time, you're not worried or insecure about your girlfriend anymore. You're not uncomfortable or jealous if some guy talks to the girl you have a crush on. You recognize that all these things are distractions. You're not looking forward to that party you were supposed to attend or frequenting nightclubs or drinking with your buddies. That is all trivial shit. Your mind acknowledges and separates the people of importance from the crowd you've gathered over the years. And as your mind figures out the things you want to do, you know very clearly what you don't want to do, which makes all the difference. What you want will eventually come to you. You just have to cut off triviality and you will meet focus. And focus will grab your hand and guide you through various distractions and lead you directly to your destination. 5. You are vigilant. The days in your life aren't divided by weekdays and weekends anymore. Each morning will be different and separate from the other. Each day will be an opportunity that brings you closer to your dreams. From this day on, you won't be waiting for opportunities anymore, but seizing moments to create them. 6th, you are reminded of your legacy. What are you leaving behind to those who love you, those dependent on you, and those whom you cherish? You ask yourself, what would I be remembered for? 7, you are finally at peace. You make settlements with the villainy that surrounds you, with all the losers that have bothered you and brought you down for too long. You're no longer bound by the threads of superficial relationships, artificial people, and obligatory acquaintances. You've been liberated of all influence. You're unaffected by criticism, negative or positive. You are free from human indulgence. 8. You accept and appreciate love. And it's not selfish love anymore. It's the purest, most incorruptible form of love that flows in the direction of those whom you love without hesitation, without question. And you know they love you too and never cease to support you. They are those who see grace and beauty where others saw flaws and imperfections. And it is in this moment you choose their love instead of chasing and finding and hoping to somehow control, impress, or convince some stranger to fall in love with you. 9. You seek happiness rather than joy. You finally recognize the distinction your brain chose to ignore by living under the illusion of ampleness of time. And when faced with a choice, you appreciate indulging in happiness rather than seeking joy. Because joy, although attributed to bringing happiness, is short-lived. And the things that define the meaning of your life are not. There is a reason why, when Keats wrote, "A thing of beauty is a joy forever," he added forever at the end. Because joy is momentary. Once you understand this distinction, you don't run after one-night stands, flings, or short-lived dalliances. You don't seek to repeat moments of joy by augmenting your drug usage, by indulging in social gatherings more, or from petty ego boosts in forms of compliments. Lastly, you realize that you are complete. You don't need any other person to reassure you of your greatness, your legendary status, your awesomeness. You are a titan. You're not in a fight with competition anymore. With this level of self-awareness and consciousness, you're not part of the crowd. You're not in a fight against humans. You're out there to make a name for yourself. You are going to take down gods. That's who you are. You're a fucking titan. Remember that. Challenge your mortality and all that is important to you will come to you naturally. Now just imagine, if you lived with this level of consciousness every single day, what won't you accomplish? All you need to do is constantly ask yourself, urge yourself to believe that you have only 12 months in your hands. Get into that mindset, and once you do, you will experience that evolution I have laid out. How many times in a day do you remind yourself that very soon, in comparison to the infinite scope of time, you will die? And before dying, you will experience a phenomenon known as being old. So the only time you will ever be the most efficient is now. In about 20 years, you will be half as efficient as you are right now. If you don't act now, in about 10 years, all the opportunities you have in your hands will reduce to half. I cannot go back to school so I can be a geologist, physicist, cosmologist, molecular biologist, or anything of that sort, because that ship sailed a long time ago for me. The only option I'm left with is to blame someone. Blaming is one of the most pointless activities available to humans. So, are you going to wait for that experience where you face that eventuality and are left with nothing but to pick someone to blame? Or are you going to avoid that experience altogether? It's your choice. You might think to have this kind of mindset in reality is too hard. It's almost impossible. Let me tell you something. It's not the first time you would go through this transition. Mortality, although the greatest reminder of the value of time, isn't the only one. You have gone through this personal evolution before. You just don't remember it anymore because you achieved what you wanted. Think of the time when you lost a job and you had to find a new one as soon as possible. Were you concerned about dating that day? Or watching your favorite television show? Think of the time when you faced an emergency and the only priority, your only focus that day was to solve that problem no matter what. Were you thinking about going to a nightclub then? Think of the time when you were preparing for a competition and there was no other option but to destroy the scores and guarantee your admission in that college or program. Were you hanging out with your friends and just wasting time? Think of the time when for the first time you saw the opportunity you had been waiting for your entire life. What did you do that evening? Did you not prepare? Did you not abandon every single plan you had with anybody until you made sure that opportunity was yours? On that day, you knew exactly what you wanted and where you were. So you locked yourself up, told every single distraction to fuck off, and functioned on that level of consciousness. You've already done it, only on a much smaller scale. This time, you need to do it on a magnitude that will change the entire course of your life and permanently set you on another level. So, what are you waiting for? Keep your phone down, sit alone and ask yourself, what if you only have 12 months to live? Focus on this line of thought until you've gained that level of consciousness. Ask yourself, what are my gifts? What is the one thing that I always wanted to learn? What is that one thing I always wanted to do? Bring it back. Stop running away from your true, unique, beautiful self. In your attempts to mingle in the crowds, somewhere you abandoned the things that made you unique, that separated you from others. And if during this process you're reminded of your failures, about the possibility that you might have wasted a lot of your time or there aren't enough opportunities, move on. Focus only and only on the 12 months ahead of you. That is your life now. That is all the time you have, and nothing else matters. I hope you liked this video. This was the second part of the motivational series, and I promise you, if you approach the future with this mindset, you will conquer any goal in your life. I hope you will subscribe to this channel because there are a lot of informative videos coming only for you. And I personally want to thank all of you who send your appreciation and love through messages and comments in the videos. I read every single one of them. You are my inspiration. Lastly, share this video with all your loved ones, and especially with those who are struggling, have lost motivation in their work, studies, or life. We can't leave anyone behind. Thank you for watching.